Hey, welcome back to GT Canada. Today I'm going to show you my attempt to revive a dead video card from our computer. Some of you may have noticed that recently we've started filming a lot of our footage in 4K, and to edit that footage, our current computer was just not cutting it anymore. We needed something with a little bit more power. So the search began to find a suitable, reasonably priced editing computer, and I found one. And I reached out to the guy, we made an agreement on the price. He seemed like a decent guy. When I bought it, due to the current pandemic, people don't want to let other people into their house or anything, so it's really hard to test equipment to make sure that it's working okay. So you've got to work on trust a lot. And generally, I'm a pretty trusting guy. I trust people to do the right thing, to be honest, to say what they're gonna do and do what they say they're gonna do. Interestingly, I show up at the door, knock on the door, someone comes to the door, hey, I'm here for a computer, and the guy goes, and then closes the door. And I couldn't understand what he was saying, and I'm standing there waiting and waiting and waiting. It took at least 5 minutes before someone else comes and opens the door, and he's like, oh, sorry, man, I was asleep still when you got here, so I had to wake up and whatever. I'm starting to get kind of that butterfly feeling in my stomach, like something's just not quite right. I tend to ignore that, and sooner or later I will stop ignoring it because it kind of has been a good indicator to me that something's not right, but I can't quite figure out what it is. So I continued with the deal. I bought it. I couldn't test it because he didn't want someone in his house, so he carried it out to my car and put it in. And the first thing I noticed was the monitor that he had said would be there in the ad wasn't the monitor he was giving me. So I said, hey, this isn't the monitor from the ad. And he's like, oh yeah, the monitor that I had broke, the stand broke. So I just gave you this one instead because this one doesn't have a broken stand. And it's an older piece of junk monitor, and I'm like, okay, I don't actually need the monitor anyway, so whatever, no big deal. Now 2 flags have gone off, and I ignore it. So I drive home. And the whole time I got this nagging feeling like something's wrong with this deal, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I get the computer all hooked up and I turn it on, and the third red flag comes up when I notice there's only 1 stick of RAM in it, and he had said there was 16 gigs of RAM, but the computer's only reporting 8 gigs of RAM. So I reach out to him, I text him, hey, you said there was 16 gigs of RAM, but there's only 8. He's like, yeah, it's 1 16 gigabyte stick. So I sent him a picture of the PC, the Windows properties that says 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I said, maybe the computer is reporting it wrong. I'll get CPU-Z, which is a tool that'll report system parameters and hardware to you without having to open it up and look at it. And CPU-Z says the same thing, 8 gigs of RAM. I'm like, listen, the RAM's not right. He's like, oh, sorry, I'll send you back some money to cover the difference in RAM. I'm like, okay, that's decent of you. Then I'm using the computer for a few more minutes, and all of a sudden I start getting weird graphical glitches on the computer. So I thought, well, that's weird, so I update the drivers. The glitches still stayed. And they got worse and worse, and it finally got bad enough that the start button was locking up and wasn't working, and parts of the computer were freezing. So I looked online just to double check my suspicion, and it said, yeah, your video card's probably toast. So I reach out to the guy, hey buddy, something's not quite right here. The video card's got graphical glitches and it's freezing up, and I think something's up with this. And he says, nope, it always worked fine for me. I'm like, okay, well, it's not working fine now, and I've only had it plugged in for 2 minutes. And then he accuses me. He says, well, how do I know that you don't have a GTX 1070 card already and that it's broken and you didn't swap your broken one into the computer and you're trying to swindle me into giving you your money back? I'm like, okay, that's pretty far-fetched, first of all. Second of all, I'm not a dishonest guy, but obviously you wouldn't know that. I know that. And I guess some people would disagree that saw my video about scalping a PlayStation 4. You can check it out up here. I still think I'm an honest kind of guy. And I told him, look, that's not what I did. Well, he kind of texted me back and forth, and then I said, look, if you don't want to give me my money back, I'll bring the whole computer back. You can give me my money back, you can whatever. He's like, no, it's a broken computer. Okay, well, yeah, it is broken, but why do I got to get stuck with your broken computer? And I paid a lot of money for this computer, a lot of money. It wasn't like a cheap $200 computer. I'm talking about $1,000 for this computer, which is a lot of money for a computer, especially a used one. But it was supposed to be good. It was supposed to have a good video card, a good processor and everything. I decided, this guy starts ignoring me. He's not answering me anymore. So I thought, okay, I got nothing else to try but to bake the GPU and see if that fixes it. So I shoved it in my toaster oven, put it on for 450 degrees and baked it, just like they say to do online. Plugged it back into the computer after it had cooled. No change. It wasn't any better. But then I knew that with my turkey temperature probe that it never quite got up to the full temperature that you're supposed to for a full proper bake. So I warmed up my oven, my big oven, and put it in there at 455 degrees. And I waited until it got up to that temperature, and then it took a little while, but it did get to that temperature. It definitely was getting warm, so I shut the oven off. When I pulled it out, it smacked against the side of the oven, and I saw one of the chips, the surface chips, fall off. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. I can solder that back on. So I threw it into the freezer to quickly cool the solder joints and pulled it out. I soldered the chip back on. Now the card doesn't even boot up at all. So I texted the guy again and I said, look, I tried baking it to bring it back to life. It's totally dead now, and we need to figure something out. The guy has still not responded to me, and I hope he finds this channel because I got a lot of great things in store for him, and I might post it up on this channel. Tips on getting even with somebody who rips you off and doesn't feel compelled to do the right thing. Like I said before, I'm not an evil guy, but I do like being an evil guy sometimes. I feel that this has just given me a free license to give this guy what he deserves, to help him understand that he should do the right thing. If you're not subscribed to this channel already, I would suggest that you subscribe below and hit the bell, because I think that's going to be an interesting series to talk about things you can do to get even with people who deserve to be gotten even with. The moral of this story is, if you're trying to bake your graphics card, your GPU, know that there will be mixed results. If the card works at all in any capacity, I would suggest you don't bake it. But if you're in a situation like I was, where it wasn't working at all, it was not functioning at all, it was not going to work in the way that it was currently working, so it was basically useless to you, you might as well try it. But your results could be the same as mine, where it just doesn't work at all anymore rather than fixes it. So that's a real risk. And when people online say don't bake your GPU, there's a good reason for that, because it is hit and miss. So I hope you found this video useful or entertaining, or you're just having a great time watching me talk about the woes of having a successful YouTube channel. Love to see you again, but until then, have a great day.